WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Hello, it's Monday at 4, so it must be the Community Bell Show. How is everybody? We're so glad to have you. As always, Monday at 4 o'clock is Community Bell information time. We're glad to have you. It's the second week of school. My. No, wait a minute. Maybe it's the third week. It's third week of school. Third week of school. They had 2 4-day weeks, and now they're going to have a full week this week. So we're just glad that they're back. Everything appears to be great. And so we're just excited about it. We have a very special guest for you today. Let me tell you, a friend of mine for almost 40 years now, probably over 40 years. Her name is Dr. Deborah Hunter Harville. And, you know, I always talk about education every Monday. So this time we have a real educator with us. Deborah has been a principal, a teacher, a superintendent, and now serves as the vice president of the Detroit Public School Board. And we are so glad to have her. Deborah, you there? There she is.
Wow, look at my church member,
Hey, and
the
I forgot the best
Community
part.
Bell Show. I love
Yes.
it.
Yes. We're so glad to have you. And I didn't say the most important part. She's a trustee at the New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church,
Yes,
the corner of Pembroke and Livernois. So we are so glad to have you. I talk about education every Monday, something about education, because we've got to make sure that, our babies are taken care of. And this is one of the persons who helps take care of our babies and makes decisions in our school system. But she's here today. I want her, before she talks about the special reason she's here today, I'll let her introduce herself. Tell us more about you that I didn't say already.
Well, you actually have it down pat. You forgot to say the part about the trustee at the church and all of that. The child of the King. We walk together in Christ. Let's see, what else could I say about me? Married to hubby Walter Harville and 2 children who grew up into adults.
Isn't that a blessing? Yes.
Oh my God. One is living in Louisiana and married.
Wow.
But we're waiting for other good news.
Oh, okay.
Whatever in the world that could be.
All right. Good news. But
until then, I got 50,000 Detroit Public Schools grandchildren.
There you go. I
try to touch him every day. And I have a son too. I don't know where he is right now, but he lives in LA, but he travels the country. He graduated from Western Michigan School of Music.
Oh, wow.
You know what that means. He's all over the country.
How wonderful.
Everywhere. All over. He's in Germany. He's everywhere.
That's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
But let me tell you about one of my favorite parts of her family is her brother. Love her brother. Her brother lives in Arizona now.
Yep,
that was my buddy at New Prospect. And
that was your buddy?
That was my buddy at New Prospect. I look over
He's
there and see him.
else. He's something else. But yes, he's doing well. We're both moving along with everything that took place.
Yes.
It's been a year now, but God is holding us and keeping us. And he's doing okay. He really is.
Give him my best when you talk to him.
I certainly will. I certainly will.
Well, Dr. Hunter is going to be talking today about something that I want everybody to get engaged with. And that's mental health for not only our students, but our teachers, our employees, our parents, the whole community. So, Dr. Hunter, tell us what's coming up.
So, thank you, Honorable Edna Bell, for letting me talk a little bit about what we have going on in the Detroit Public Schools Community District on Tuesday, September 27th at 5:30. We're going to have a community forum, and we have some panelists, our very own assistant superintendent, Lauren Nzuma, and also the fabulous and well-breathed in knowledge, Dr. Sabrina Jackson.
That's our buddy. She's on the show.
Mental health. She's on often?
Yes.
Very good. She's going to talk to our parents and our students and our staff about ways to be competitive with this mental health alertness and awareness, and ways to get past it, and strategies to use when you're feeling a certain way, and just ways that you can progress. Even though you're going through some mental health challenges, you can still make it. And so she'll be there.
That is wonderful. Who else is going to be on the panel?
So we haven't confirmed her yet, but I believe it's Dr. Carla Mitchell. And what Carla has going for her is she's going to talk about the kinds of good foods that need to be eaten on a daily and evening basis for our children. Because if they eat a lot of hot fries, and I don't know what else is the going treat. I know I can't take looking at those sweet fish, those jailed fish.
Okay.
But if you eat a whole bag of them before you get to school or halfway through the morning, you're gonna have a tummy ache. Okay, they're sweetest fish. That's what they
Okay.
are. They're delicious, but we gotta look at alternative ways of eating in order to have a successful day, to get through these mental health illnesses that we're having, and also to be able to plan for the future, because everybody's got to have a future.
Yes.
Nowadays, you got to know where you're going, approximately when you're going to get there, and who's going to be there to meet you.
Yeah. And what you're going to do when you get there.
Exactly. Got to
Yes.
know all of that.
Yes.
And you can't keep saying, well, the pandemic. Well, what about the pandemic? Yep, we've had those 2 to 3 years, and we said we've got learning loss, but not every child has it, but a lot do. And we're going to do something about that. We're going to work through mental health challenges. We're going to work through academic challenges,
Yes.
because that's what will make our kids better in the long run. It's all about them now.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And when you mention the mental health challenges that our students are having, some of this isn't new. It's just been exacerbated by the pandemic.
Right.
And we have to find ways to even help them understand that they're having challenges. Sometimes these kids don't, and parents don't even know that there is an issue.
Right.
The parents say, "Oh, they're just like that. They're just acting out." Well, no, maybe they aren't just acting out. Maybe there's something else going on. And so hopefully this will help the parents understand better what's going on with the children.
Okay, it definitely will. I want you to keep going just a little bit. I got to take something off the stove because as always, I'm cooking. I'll be right back.
Very good. I will do that. I will do that. But it is so important that we help the parents understand the children. Interesting. I picked my grandson up from school Friday, I guess. I said, "How was school?" The usual conversation. "What was for lunch?" "Nothing." I said, "What do you mean nothing?" "Well, I don't like what they have." I said, "Well, did you take anything?" "No, I didn't take anything." "So it's 3:20 and you haven't eaten all day since this morning?" "Well, that's not acceptable." I said, "Boy,
Right.
you've got to, if you don't like what they're serving, take something for lunch." "I don't want to take any lunch." "Well, you better take a health bar or some fruit or something, because you can't go all day and be a productive student without eating."
I know. I totally agree with you. And so, speaking of which, you are a grandmother, and I'm proud to have your grandson in the district.
Yes.
Now, especially with the vigorous schedule that he might have at his high school. Okay.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's, okay to talk about it, but any high school, they need to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There needs to be some greens in there, like some celery sticks.
Yeah.
Now I notice that kids are actually eating kale. They're eating
Really?
kale better than they ever did. So, the district has shifted and it's pivoted, and our lunches are more nutritional and more healthy. So you're not going to get a lot of pizza. Okay.
Well, that's a good thing.
But if you do get it, you might get a vegetarian pizza. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to do better. And so what we have to do is incorporate those kinds of snacks when the kids get home, like carrots.
Yep.
And I'm gonna be like my son, and when I talk about the apples, okay?
Yes.
But my son says with the apples, which is going to be a carb, you got to have a protein. Okay. So you got to have a protein to fit the whole process. Make sure that if they're eating carbs, they have proteins, carbs and proteins. Actually, you eat the proteins before you eat the carbs. Okay. The carbs come last. And then instead of eating a whole apple, you'll find yourself eating a half of an apple. So that's just one piece. Now, I'm not the expert, but we're trying to get Carla so she can talk about it. The doctor will speak on that. She'll speak on, the opportunities that parents still will have in order to be vaccinated if they choose to do so. Okay. I can't
That's so
make you.
important. You know,
But I can't make you. I can only
no,
say if it was
it's
my kid, I would.
and it's available to you, and it's free, and
And it's free.
and you need to think about not just you and your child, but you need to think about the seniors in your life. You know, grandma and grandpa,
That's
who
right.
may either live with you or you go to visit. It's
That's
important that
right.
you take care of you so that you can take care of them, and so you don't bring them anything, or the little babies in the family. So it isn't
Exactly.
just you that
Yeah.
you have to worry about. You need to worry about everybody around
And
you.
we really do have to worry about each other, because I'll bet you if you do a survey of all of your grandson's new friends, like ninth grade students, I'll
Hmm.
bet you someone has had someone to die over the last year or year and a half. And I'll bet you they're struggling with it. I
Oh,
know it.
oh, you don't even have to, my grandson's my son-in-law's father just died
See?
back in July.
That brings on some undue stress that
Yes, for
kids don't have to
children.
face alone.
That's right.
If they
Exactly.
have the right strategies in place, and if the district has a hotline even, and
Hmm.
you could talk about with someone the kinds of challenges you are having. Okay,
Absolutely.
you got to talk about people that died during this pandemic that were so close to you, and they had the funeral, or they weren't able to have a funeral, or
And
you
it,
just viewed them and that
yes,
was it. And you
couldn't
viewed them from
grieve.
afar, not up
Yes.
close. You got to
Yes.
talk about that. Okay. You got to
Exactly.
talk about the car accident that someone had. You've got to talk, and their life was taken.
Yes.
You got to talk about your grade point average fell from a 4.0 to a 3.2. Maybe
Yes.
because you didn't have capacity to get your computer running. I don't know. But whatever the challenges are, we're going to be ready for it in the district. There are all kinds of issues that come up, all kinds. And
Yes.
we're going to face them head on, get some good answers for our students, our parents, and our staff members. Oh my God, Edna, so many staff members lost loved ones.
Yes.
Okay?
It's staggering. It's just
Yes,
staggering. And we're
yes.
not able to grieve them.
We're
Um,
not. Got to get back to work.
and
You
not only get
know,
back to work, couldn't do it because you couldn't be in crowds, and you
right.
couldn't all go to be together at the funeral home or at somebody's house or
All of that
grandma's
is
house where you
stressful.
all used together. You couldn't do that.
Oh my goodness.
And
All
so
of that is so stressful.
yes,
I
yes,
continue to experience issues like that, but I know that only God can see me through. And I know that, you know, we're not preachers and we're not bishops and all of that. But there is a God somewhere, and He's going to protect our students, and He's going to wrap His arms around our staff, and certainly our parents are going to be taken care of as well.
absolutely, absolutely. You know, as we talk about the issues with staff and children, attendance clearly is one of those things that's critical to young people being able to succeed in school. But not only
Absolutely.
that, attendance is important because they need to be around other children.
Exactly, in
And
order to
they,
get out of it, the
yes,
depression.
yes. And so we need to find methods to help the children get to school. And a lot of these babies, K through 5, it's not their responsibility. It's the parents' responsibility to get them to school.
That is correct. That is correct. And I'm also thinking about my homeless population. Sometimes they get to school even before others get to school, but they have a hard way towards getting to school. So when you think about a kid, don't just think about um, a middle class student or a kid that's going through some lower socioeconomic issues. Think about the homeless child that, if you look in Webster's definition, or if you Google it, you'll find out that they don't have a place to call home. So therefore, they're designated as homeless. Okay.
Mhm.
It's just so many issues, but we have to get in front of them. We have to get kids talking about it, and we have to give staff time to talk about their issues as well. We've got to
Yes.
find some certified substitutes. And if they're not in education, we've got to train them thoroughly to
Now,
become educators because of
yes.
the national teacher shortage.
Absolutely. And that's something that people probably want to hear about. They keep saying, well, they're just letting anybody be a teacher. But that is not
No,
true. Anybody
no.
cannot be a substitute. There are things they have to go through in order to get there. Talk about what those things are.
Yeah, let's talk briefly about that. So, if you have 2 years of college and you're continuing with education in some way or another, you can probably become a good substitute teacher. If you want to be a substitute teacher in mathematics or in sharing with special needs students, those are the two biggies. That's
Okay.
where we don't have a lot of people that went into education. But
Okay.
if you went into accounting, or if you have a business and finance background and you can't find a job, come in and talk to us about becoming a substitute. And we have a special training program that you go through. You can get certified, and in a couple of years, you'll be a certified teacher. Now, what does that mean? That means now you're a certified teacher. You even passed the substitute stage because you got certified. You're also an accountant for when that opens back up. So you got two different areas that you can work with. And then you can decide, do I really want to be a teacher or what do I want to become? So if you're in accounting, you've done something with mathematics, just double check with our DPSCD jobs entry on the internet, and then it'll give you the positions that are listed. You should apply for these positions, and even for professional development, if you will, to start interviewing for some of those jobs when they call you, and let's see if you're qualified to be a substitute, a substitute that stays in one building.
Mm-hmm.
Those are rare, but some people get them. And if you're changing from one professional career to another, you can become a permanent sub, but then eventually you become the teacher of record. Just because we have a special program, which I can't tell you the name of right now, but as a follow-up, I'll get the name of the program and you can bring it up next week, or whenever you have me back again. I'll bring more data on human resources. Of course, I didn't know what we were going to talk about, but anything you need, I can get it for you. We'll have some folk come and talk to you about jobs. We're going to have some career fairs.
There we go.
And hire some people. Now, let me tell you what we need. We really need some help. Exceptional student education.
Okay.
That's special ed. That's talented and gifted. That's special ed that are in the center-based programs, that are learning disabled, that are on the autism spectrum. We need you. If not you, who will? The computer can't teach everybody.
All right.
I mean, it's good to have, but we need you. We need a person that cares about our children to be in front of our children. It's someone that's been tested, they've been interviewed, that hopefully will make certain that, they're prepared or have looked at our COVID protocol, so that you can get in front of our kids and just teach. Just go ahead and teach.
Yes. And love on them, because they need it so bad. They need it.
Oh, they're hurting so
desperately.
much.
They
are hurting.
it. Yes.
They are hurting. I'm so glad you invited me so we could talk about this. It's wonderful. And again, I'm glad that Dr. Jackson has been here, and she's going to be with us September the 27th for Detroit Public Schools.
Where is that going to take place?
Martin
Where?
Luther King
Okay.
Junior Senior High School, over there between Lafayette and what would that be?
Larned.
and Larned. You're
Yes.
right.
Yep.
Down the street from the Old Friends School, which
Yep.
I'm told is a new
Apartment complex now.
an
Yes.
apartment complex. If you've ever lived on the east side, you know where King High School is.
Absolutely.
Some of you run track on it every morning. You go and get your weight thing on, and that's great. You go and exercise.
Martin Luther King High School, September 27th at 5:30.
Yes.
And everybody is invited.
Right. And I'm going to get a flyer for you.
Wonderful.
And
wonderful.
the other thing that we want to do,
it's so critical that people understand that mental health services are not just, it's not people are crazy. That's old school. They're not crazy.
Nah. You could just have a little issue. Just a little issue. And that makes it something that we need to talk about. And you need somebody to be able to talk to. So yes, you're right on point.
Be a mental health issue. Just being stressed can be a mental health issue. As you mentioned earlier, young people who have had someone die that was close to them, they don't know how to handle this. They're too young. They don't. I have one of my grandson's friends whose grandfather just died last week.
Yeah.
They don't know how to handle this. Fortunately, their little circle of friends put their arms around this young man to help him. And my grandson had just gone through that, but still, they're young people. They don't know. They haven't had these kinds of experiences of how you grieve and how you deal with the death of a loved one. And so it isn't that, people talk about, oh, they're crazy, we're not going to talk to them. Nope, that's not it. They're having some challenges. We all have challenges, and we all need to look at how we handle those situations. And the panelists that you're talking about are people who know what they're talking about, who have dealt with issues of this nature, and who can help our parents understand our children and help our staff to work through this. Because, just because I'm a teacher doesn't mean I know all and can do all. I need help sometimes too.
Exactly.
And so don't just throw the teachers out there and say, oh, you go for yourselves. That's not how this works. We need everybody in the community to come together to help us help our children, their parents, our staff people, everybody, because this is a community issue. This is a serious community issue.
It really is.
Every time I hear about something happening to someone, oftentimes you'll hear them say, well, they had a mental health problem, and they had it and obviously didn't get any help.
That's right. And don't just walk by these people and know something is wrong and don't offer your assistance.
Yes.
Carefully offer your assistance, but we got to help our people.
Yes. And, we've got family members, and something's wrong with that member of your family. Well, don't just keep saying, oh, there's something wrong with them. Don't do that. Help them. Find somebody who can help them, because they're going to impact our community. Just like this young man who shot these 4 people on Sunday morning 2 weeks ago.
Right by the church.
Yes, right by the church. And then a family member said, oh, well, he has mental health problems. Well, you knew it. Why didn't you say something? Yes. It's heartbreaking.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. So we have so many challenges facing our district, our city, our nation, in fact. So many challenges, but with the grace of God and the help of God and the help of good people who care about our children, who care about our community, we can defeat this evilness. And I call it evil because it is evil as far as I'm concerned.
That's exactly what it is.
We can defeat this.
Yep, we can. And I just ask too that you just embrace, and I'm not just talking about our exceptional student population in Detroit, not just our special ed kids. I'm talking about all of them. I want my general ed population to know that if they see a student with challenges, special education challenges, I want them to become a good buddy.
Yes.
Okay. Like real inclusion, like it was supposed to be years ago. Stand up for the next special ed student. Go in and help them read. Talk to them about those football things that happened this weekend where the Lions almost won.
Oh,
but
girl,
didn't win.
let's not talk
Okay?
about my poor Lions, poor
Okay.
babies. They
But I'm
almost
still,
made it.
but I still got my hands on it. And I'm still praying on it. But do you understand what I'm saying? Real
Yes.
inclusion is the general ed population and the special ed population coming together so that the special ed kids don't have to have a mental health challenge alone. And then the general ed kid can be helped by helping other children. So
Yes.
all children are susceptible to mental health challenges. We just
Yes.
got to help each other.
And the general ed population then will have more of an understanding of what goes on in the special population.
Exactly.
It will help them understand, number one, how blessed they are, but number two, how a small thing that they will do will be of such a big consequence to the special population.
Exactly. Now that's one of my focuses for this incoming year. We got to do better with helping our students understand that all of you are students that 10, 15 years from now will be expected to help pay Social Security if we still have it.
Well, we're gonna pray that we're gonna
I
still
don't
have
know.
it because I'm gonna be around till 15 years from now. That's
Okay.
and
I want
keep
you
getting it.
some.
I want to keep getting mine.
I hear you. But do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We
Everybody
are
can
hit.
contribute.
This pandemic took us out. We got to
Yes,
come back hitting hard and heavy.
Yes. And it's important that our children understand that the pandemic was there and we know it hurt them. And we know it decreased their grade level and their educational level, but they can come back. That's just one thing.
Yep,
and there's
they
always
can.
going to be something. So don't just think that, oh, that's one thing. There's always going to be something. So
Yep.
you've got to find a way to come back from whatever it is.
You have to.
You've got to find a way. And then that's where the parents and the school system come in to help.
Mm-hmm.
That they can come back from everything, that they can teach them how to come back. They can show them that you can rebound. You were here 2 years ago, but boy, look at you now.
Yeah.
And you're going to get even better.
Yeah.
And I was last Wednesday, I went over to the PACE Center. They were getting some donations in, and they asked some volunteers to come over and help them unload some of the trucks. And it's the kind of things that they were unloading were just things that children and families need, and we need to publicize that center more so people know it's there.
Wow.
And know they
where's
can
that located?
It's on Puritan and Murray Hill, Asbury Park.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they've got all sorts of
that neighborhood has kids.
They've got shampoo, and they were getting in uniforms, and they were getting in water and snacks and all kinds of other hygiene items that our families can use, and it's free to the Detroit Public School family.
Right.
They just need to contact their local person at their school and let them know what they need, and they can get it. But I don't think enough people know about it.
Well, we need to check into that. And we need to have some other things happen with it. Mm-hmm. I love this show.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you were able to come on.
I dropped anything. Are you kidding? Edna Bell, I dropped it. I'll get you back. Let me reschedule you.
Oh, absolutely. But we're going to get you back. And Sandy Rose, who is the owner of our station and the creator of this opportunity, is a wonderful woman. I worked with her. Tell you how God is. I worked with her at Michigan Bell Telephone Company 40 years ago.
Okay.
And I saw her after church one Sunday at the Myers grocery store on 8 Mile and Woodward.
Okay. That's what you see everybody.
We said, hello, how are you? And we went on about our business. Going through the store shopping, ran into her again. And she said, I think the Lord wants me to talk to you. This is the second time we've run into each other at this store. I've got a radio show and I want you to come on my show. And I said, me? Why would I? And I said, okay, let me think about this. And I did. And it has been such a blessing.
Wonderful.
I just love it. I love her. And I want you to know that our radio show just won the Stellar Award for being the best radio station in our market in the country. She
Congratulations.
went down to Atlanta a month ago and accepted the Stellar Award at the and we're just
Wow.
excited. We
Next
are
time
just
I go with the Bell Girls with you to
okay.
the
Yeah,
Stellar Awards.
to
I
this,
love gospel singing.
yes, well, and not only that, she directs a choir, a women's gospel choir.
Wow. Is it in Detroit?
Yes. So Deborah, Deborah's here, but Sandy, are you there? I know she's listening. She's got to be listening. Sandy, if you're there, come on, because I just want you to know that Sandy Rose is just a special person. And so I'm just so excited. But when we won that Stellar Award, I was just beside
That
myself.
is congratulations, truly. Did you have that announced at church?
I did not, but
You
maybe
need
we should.
to.
Maybe we should. It's
Yeah, I
wonderful.
think so. And that you have this community program.
Yes.
I think you gave me a flyer a long time ago.
I
But
did.
does anybody else know from the church?
I don't know.
Because that's
I
your
don't.
humble spirit.
I don't know.
I would be the same way. Give me some flyers Saturday morning.
I will get
breakfast.
some put up and bring some, but it's just such a blessing.
Absolutely.
And we just talk about community stuff. We bring information to the community. That's what we do. And
there's lots to talk about. There's
girls,
lots to talk about.
So much to talk about.
And you come to those board meetings and you sit there so humble and beautiful, like you were never a school board member, and you know everything we're going through.
I do.
You've been there, done that before.
And that's why I want to sit there and just let you guys know there's somebody in the audience who understands. Who has had people shout and yell at them and throw stuff at them and
some people are nice. Some people are nice, and those that are not, maybe they just need to be that at that time.
Exactly.
You just never know.
You don't know.
Never
and you just have to sit there and listen to them because you don't know what's going on with them.
Right. That's the issue. That's the issue.
And there we go again with the mental health issue. We don't know what's going on.
See, it's everybody.
Yes.
It's everybody, but we're going to fix it. It's everything I do is going to be about the kids. I'm going to ask myself, is this good for children? If it's good for children, then we can work through the other stuff.
That's the question. How will it impact children?
Yes. We
that
have
is
work
the question.
To do.
That's what we need to do. And, I just remember so well, and this has been, back in the 80s, when we did something that they thought they called us all sorts of names. We had them have a C average to participate in special activities like sports.
Yeah.
And band and music and all the other
stuff. I remember that. They were upset.
Oh, girl.
We stormed those board meetings.
Oh, my God.
Guess what I said? It would have been a 4.0 because you couldn't even come to my school without coming in that door saying, I'm striving for a 4.0.
Yes. And here we got parents and coaches reading us the riot act because we're saying, well, these babies are students. They need an education. They can play sports second, but first they got to be able to read, write, and compute. And in order to do that, they've got to have a C average. They got to pass all their classes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We were throwing them under the bus.
Well, it all worked out, didn't it?
It did. And now it's just understood. But boy, back then, they were going to lynch us.
Yeah, you were trailblazing. Trailblazing.
Absolutely incredible. But remember, Deborah, do you remember the days when Detroit public school system was the envy of the nation? We had people coming from around the country.
You were on that board then. Yeah. I do remember.
We had those conferences.
We're striving to get there. We were headed there just before the pandemic. Honestly, we were.
Yes.
So we just got to get back
there again because we were the envy of we had people from around the country coming to see what we were doing and how we were doing it, and our teachers and our principals were leading the charge, and they were being asked to come all over the country to talk about how they did it and what they did, and so we can get back there.
Well, you have to share that sometimes in public comments. Bring a newspaper clipping. I know you got something.
Oh, girl. I mean, it was a wonderful thing. So we can do this. We've got the talent. We've got the children. We've got all the teachers and the administrators, the boards. We got all the people we need to do this, and we can do this. So I'm just excited about what the future is going to bring. and how we're going to do this. So I am so glad you were able to join me today.
It is
Hey,
my pleasure.
what closing comments did you have?
Closing comments. Just thank you for the opportunity to talk to the community and tell them about some of the things that are going on. We appreciate that. We're humbled that you gave us that chance to do that. We love you. Got to get back to work.
Get back to work. And remember, everyone, September 27th, 5:30 in the evening, Martin Luther King Jr. Senior High School. Come listen to the experts talk about how we're going to help our babies handle these mental health issues, not just the babies, but the staff and the community. Important stuff. Important stuff.
If you have any need to call, you can call 873 4101 or 873-3242. 873-3242. That's going to be Miss Kia, and Kia Drake will lead you to the special ed department, and they'll tell you more about this fabulous program. And I'm scheduled to get the flyer tomorrow, and just as soon as I get it to you, I'll send it to you, and maybe you'll be able to share it.
Absolutely. We will share it. We will share it. We will share it again. Thank you so much. Thank you, listening audience, for being with us this Monday. As always, the Community Bell Show, we just bring you information you all need to have. And as we always end our show, the quote from Dr. Martin Luther King that says, "Not everyone can be famous, but everyone can be great, because greatness is determined by service. And you only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love." Have a great week. We'll see you next week at 4:00 on the Community Bell Show. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit. You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.